welcome back. So today I'm going to make a file folder cover, journal cover, and this is the one that I've started for the the September Stash Buster for Dear Julie, and I asked if you guys wanted to see how I did this, and several people said yes, so let's do it. And I thought I was recording and I wasn't, and so I have now made a second one. So let's do it a third time, shall we? Third time is the charm. All right, so I think we're gonna make this one the same size. I just want to check my fabric. And my fabric that I cut is a little bit smaller. So I think that's why I want to do 11.5 by 7 3/4. Okay. Get out my cutter. And on your file folder, you'll see you have where it bends to kind of make more room for whatever you're sticking in the file folder. What I did is I just bend this over. And then this is going to be our spine. So, I can't remember, my gosh. So if I do, so that would be 5 1/4 for both sides. So I'm going to keep the flat, I guess we could do it like that, and line up 5 1/4 here. That's probably better. And then flip it around, and then do 5 1/4. However, that may not work because, well, yeah, it'll work. You want 5 1/4 from this edge. So 5 1/4. So right where that score line is, you want to do 5 1/4 from there. And then when you fold it, there you go. Yeah, so 5 1/4, 5 1/4. You could do 5 1/2, you could do 6. Again, however big you want your journal. And then we're gonna do the height, which this one is 8. So I'm gonna do 7 3/4. Just because my fabric piece. 7 3/4. And there we go. Looks good. All right, I'm also going to show in another video, if you want a thicker spine, how you can do that. Just really quick, what you would do is cut here and here, and then make a piece the width of your spine, and then you would put them all together. But I'll do that version in another video. So today it will just be this way with the, how big is this? It's 3/4 of an inch wide. So if you wanted an inch or an 1.5 inches, I'll show you how to do that in another video. Okay, so we have our base, and then you want to take your fabric and make sure, that's the wrong side, that you have enough space around the edge on the tops and the bottoms. And so you can kind of test it by folding it up and seeing that all of it, like this part I didn't cut very straight. So this is actually a little bit more than you want, but this part, this is why I needed to cut it smaller, because I didn't cut my lines very straight. All right, so I think that looks pretty good. I might actually trim some of this off. So then I need my Fabri-Tac. And I'm gonna start on the front cover. And I'm just gonna add some glue all around. I'll probably speed this up for you. Line up the fabric and then smush it down. And then we're going to add some glue on our spine. And then to the back. All right, that looks good. So then I'm gonna go around the edge and add some glue. Fold it over. And then down to the bottom edge. And then fold that up. And I'm just kind of pinching this corner because what we're going to do is cut that off. Okay, let's take a look. Looks good. And then we're going to cut off these corners. And I'm going to take my scissors and kind of lay them flat so they're kind of like mitered corners, and then cut. And then it should look pretty good. You could go back in with a little bit of glue and kind of help make those corners a little more squared up. I'm going to go around to the edges and do that. There we go. All right, so now that's looking pretty good. And then what we need to do is decide what we want in the inside cover. You can put fabric. You could put, this is a printable. You could put scrapbook paper, really whatever you would like. For this one, I took another piece of fabric to cover the spine and then the 2 pieces of digital. I have to see what I'm going to use for this one, and I'll be right back. All right, I have cut out a piece of fabric. I figured I would do fabric instead of the paper since I did that one already. So I have a piece of fabric. It's not exactly the same color, but I figured it was good enough. And something else I wanted to show you, I didn't cut my fabric perfectly. You'll see down here that it's showing. And I just wanted to show you that even when you have things that are messed up like that, you could go and cut some more fabric. But let's say it's the last of your favorite fabric, you can always come back and make a pocket. There's always things with junk journals that you can do to make a mess up not look like a mess up. So I left that there so I can show you later how I would fix that. All right, so now, and you can see it's not it's not perfectly straight. I'm not the best at cutting fabric. I need some lessons. I'm gonna trim this up a little bit. And then I'm just gonna glue this on. And when I glue, I wanna make sure that this other fabric that we put on the cover, that I'm kind of covering it a little bit, because the whole point of the inside fabric is to hide that jagged line. And add another jagged line if you're like me. Then I'm just going to slowly add more glue. Really kind of fold it down. Okay. All right, so let's say we want the pockets. And I have a scrap that I could use. Also have this scrap. All right, I'm back. So after I stopped recording, I looked at the fabric again and I found this piece that I really like with the green, and it kind of matches the green on this side and it goes all the way across. So I stitched around it, and I think I'm going to use that instead as my pocket. So I'm going to tack it down with glue for now, and then what I'm going to do after it's dry is then stitch around the whole thing, just to give it a little more style, pizzazz, whatever you want to call it. I stitched a second piece on the bottom. And now we have a tuck spot that can go like this. Oh man, like that. Or you can just tuck it this way, or you can just tuck it this way if the things are bigger. And I think that looks pretty cute. All right. I hope that you give this a try. I can come back in another video and show you how I stitch in signatures also. Okay. Have a wonderfully crafty day. Bye-bye.